welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a video about what I wished I learned in my first year of university. I've just filmed this and I accidentally deleted the footage whilst I was trying to import it. So if I sound like I've said this before, that's because I have. But I hope you enjoy it nonetheless, because I wish that I'd had tips and tricks to get me through first year that I didn't know, that I wish I had known. But before I say anything else, I'd like you to comment down below any tips that you might have that I don't cover in this video, because I think that this could be a really good resource for people if they could like watch the video and also look in the comments and like learn loads from that in the process. So if you have any tips, tricks, whatever, hit me up in the comments. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, all of that jazz. Okay, let's get on with the video. So my number one tip is to do your washing in one load. This sounds really stupid, but I was paying like £10 because I'd be doing like whites, colours, sheets, towels, and like tumble drying, and it would just cost so much money every time, until somebody pointed out to me that if I literally just whacked a colour catcher in, like I could just put it in one load, because the washing machines at university are not good enough to like ruin your clothes, and your white t-shirts get slightly discoloured, but really at the end of the day, like, easier, safer, well not safer, but quicker, and I just recommend doing your washing in one load. It saves you money, it saves you time, saves you energy, all that jazz. Number two is the novelties of eating takeaways, eating junk food, just eating generally really crappily will wear off and you'll have gained weight and you'll feel rubbish about it. So just remember that you're at university for 3-4 years, and that those takeaway places, the kebab vans that you have on nights out, the McDonald's, Deliveroo, the Uber Eats, like it's all going to be there and it will stay there, and like you don't need to eat it all the time because you will have time to try everything. And if you can't be bothered to cook, just cook, because honestly, more than one like takeaway a week and you're gonna start seeing it, especially if you are eating dinner and then going on nights out and then having a kebab. Like honestly, I didn't notice it, and then before you know it, your skirts don't fit and you're like, oh. So just be careful and remember that you don't need to do everything in the first term, like you have time. And the same goes for clubbing. Like honestly, I went to the club so much in first term and then like it just gets boring after that. So like don't do everything too quickly. The next one is university is not going to be perfect, and it looks perfect on everyone's Instagram stories and things like that, but it's not, and that's okay. And don't beat yourself up if you're not having a great time all the time. There are going to be days where you're tired, there are going to be days when you're hungover, where you're stressed, where you're alone, or you have a fight with somebody or whatever. That's going to happen, and that doesn't mean that you're not getting your value for money. Like, it's okay to admit that things are not great, and as I've said in like multiple videos over the last couple of weeks, like it's alright to just not be alright, and it's not like university is perfect all the time. It's your life, so don't beat yourself up if you're not having the best time all the time. Number 4 is don't beat yourself up if you're finding it difficult to go from school to uni, because if you think about it, you're going from an environment that's very like controlled, where it's just academics, to an environment where academics and living and relationships and friendships and mental health and everything is all thrown into one big hot pot, where you're living with everyone that's also experiencing the same thing. It's like a big change, and you go from juggling your personal life and academics to juggling your personal life and academics and everything else, and cooking for yourself and fending for yourself, and just like a new environment, a new city. It's a big change, and a lot of people, I think, I noticed, like took to it like a duck to water in the first term, and then realised kind of like second, third term, like, oh my gosh, like this is a big change. And that was exactly me. I was fine in first term, and then second term I was like, oh god. So don't worry if you're finding it difficult, and also don't worry if you're not, because you probably will at some point, and that's okay. Number 5 is friendship groups will change from freshers, like most likely. Like there are very few people at my college that are still friends with the people that they were friends with in freshers week, because you kind of just cling on to the first people that you find, and then eventually you'll realise that like they're great people, but they might not necessarily be your people. And my friendship group, well, circle of friends, kind of changed very much over the first term, and I remember being really down about it, because I was like, oh my god, I'm drifting from people. Like, it's fine, they'll still be around, but they might not just be your people, and that's okay. And by the end of first year, you'll be able to sit back and be like, why was I even thinking that we were supposed to be best friends? Like, of course not. Like, they're meant to be with them and I'm meant to be with my friends, and that's normal, you know. It will happen. Number six is it's okay to have alone time. So I, in Michaelmas, like first term, was just never in my room by myself. I literally would come in to sleep and that would be it. Like I'd either be working in the library or at the bar or out or whatever. Like I would always be doing something social, and everybody was the same. And then as the year went on, like people just got more and more comfortable with like having alone time. And I just want you to know that, yeah, okay, you need to make friends and stuff, but also sitting by yourself and watching a movie, like, that's okay. You don't need to invite people all the time. You know, just having an evening where you don't talk to anybody is not going to mean that your entire friendship circle comes crashing down. Like, it won't. You're fine. And it's good to have alone time, and it's good to get used to your own company, because you don't want to become dependent on other people to make you feel happy and contented, if that makes sense. Number 7 is see the city that you're in. So I honestly realised, like, very close to the end of the year, that I just hadn't seen Oxford that much. Like, I'd seen the little circle of buildings that I kind of lived between, like the languages faculty and like the main high street and college, and I'd seen the centre, but I haven't been to Blenheim Palace, I haven't been to Botanical Gardens, I hadn't been to Port Meadow. Like, I hadn't done all these things. And you're at university to study, of course, but also you've moved to a new city. It's a cool new place. Like, make the most of it. And if you're on a campus university, go into the city, see what it has to offer. Like, there's life beyond like your books and your immediate social events, and you don't want to graduate and think, wow, I lived in an amazing city for 3-4 years and I just didn't look at it, you know. Number 8 is learn when to say yes, but also learn when to say no. So what I mean by this is, don't make excuses as to why you can't go out when you know in your heart of hearts that you're just scared or you're nervous. Like, if somebody says, do you want to come to this like jazz night, and you're like, oh my god, I'm not really gonna know that many people, but I'm gonna make an excuse that like, oh, I've got too much work, when I know that really I don't have that much work, so I'm gonna say no. That's a bad sort of no. Like, just say yes to things that you know that you're making excuses to say no to, if that makes sense. But that being said, don't say yes to things that you have a valid excuse not to go to. So if somebody invites you to a jazz night and you're feeling anxious, or you're behind on work and you just want a night by yourself, and you know that that would be better for you and you're not just making excuses, then say no. Like, learn the balance between the two, and learn to say no to people because you can't overstretch yourself, but also learn to say yes when you need to, because you also don't want to understretch yourself. So yeah, the balance between the two is difficult, but you'll get there. Number 9 is burnout is common, and it will happen to most people in their first year, and that's okay. Don't be afraid of it, embrace it. It happens to everybody. They will get to a point where you literally just can't do anymore, and everybody has that, everybody goes through that, everybody experiences that, and that's okay, that's normal, and you shouldn't be afraid to just accept it and just take some time for yourself. And I get that university terms are busy, but sometimes taking a couple of days to just reset, refocus, recharge, and then taking the actual holiday and the vacation to properly recharge can be a blessing. 10 is don't pack too much stuff. I packed way too much stuff in my first year. Oh my days, I took so much with me, and like, you accumulate stuff while you're there too. And Oxford, you have to move in and out 3 times a year because they use the rooms for conferences, even though they never actually use our rooms for conferences, but whatever. And oh my god, it's just not worth it. Like, I get having a nice room that's pretty and furnished and stuff, but you don't need your whole wardrobe, and you will only wear the same sets of clothes anyway, and you don't need like millions of furnishings. Like, just take what you need and accumulate stuff while you're there. It's just way easier and not worth the stress. Honestly, it's just not worth the stress of taking everything with you. Pack light, you won't regret it. And this isn't really a tip, like, because obviously I've done my 10, but this is just a roundup of the video. You're paying £9,000 or upwards of £9,000 a year, right? That's a lot of money to be investing, and a lot of money that you're going to have to pay back. And I think a lot of people think they are obsessed, myself included, with getting their money's worth, or having the time that they're supposed to have, or the time that everybody tells them that you're going to have. Like, everyone says uni is the best year of your life, and while you're there, it's probably not going to feel like that. It's only when you look back that you're going to be like, they were the best years of my life because they were so difficult and because I learned so much as a person. You're not paying £9,000 a year to spend every night out drunk and not to do any of your work and not to get involved in your degree and learn things and grow academically. You're not paying £9,000 a year to completely just sesh, because you may as well have just stayed at home. But you're also not paying £9,000 a year to bury your head in your books and not experience the city, the life, the friendships, the relationships, everything that's on offer to you. Like, so just remember that you're paying £9,000 a year to do both, and you're also paying £9,000 a year to make mistakes, to do stupid things, to fight with people, to fall out with people, to meet new people, to lose people, to have that Hassans when you weren't going to have that Hassans after the night out, to, I don't know, drink too much vodka and end up somewhere that you shouldn't, or to ace that test, or to fail that test, or to smash your exams, or to miss an exam, or to, I don't know, just to make stupid memories that are gonna be stupid decisions in a couple of years' time, but also make for a really great night story when you're sitting around the dinner table in a few years' time. Like, live your life and just make mistakes and do things right, do things wrong, and like, that's your £9,000. That's what you're paying £9,000 to do. And if you can sit back and genuinely be like, I got a lot of life experience out of uni, some good, some bad, fine. I had times in my first year where I honestly was like, I just can't do this anymore. And I had nights where I sat and cried myself to sleep. And I also had nights where we sat up until 3 AM talking about the craziest things, or ended up like in the back streets of Oxford with traffic cone, and loads of random memories. And there were good nights and there were bad nights, and I treasure them all equally. I treasure the night where I sat and listened to Billy Joel and sobbed into my gin. And I treasure the night where I sat in the gardens in LMH at like 2 in the morning talking about the ins and outs of, I don't know, some medical blood system that we were talking about. Like, random memories, but they're all there and they're all valuable and they're all precious for different reasons. So just take university by the horns and enjoy it, because it's going to be rough, it's going to be difficult, but it's also, there's beauty in the difficulty, you know? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and be sure to comment down below any tips that you have for prospective freshers, or just any tips you have for university in general, because I'd like to know them too. And if you did enjoy it, then be sure to request videos down below that you also think you would enjoy, because I'm in Peru right now, so there might not be another video actually for a couple of weeks. I forgot to mention that. I'm in Peru and I don't know if I'm going to have signal, I don't know if I'm going to have Wi-Fi, I don't know if I'm going to have time to edit my results video. That will be the next video, I think, if I've calculated this whole shebang correctly. That will either be coming next week, or it'll be coming, like, I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming, and it's gonna be fun time. And yeah, so that's that. I'll see you when I see you with a new video. If it's not for a couple of weeks, I apologise, but rest be assured I'll be back with Peru vlogs, results vlogs, what have you, imminently. So yeah, bye guys. Mwah.